Guys, you may be sitting on one of the best Chimera damage dealers and not even know it.
What?
Ninja came back to the game about 5 months ago. Where's my ninja? Guys, this guy destroys Chimera. I use him in a team with Mikage, but in this video, we'll take a look at a team without Mikage. We'll probably throw Lydia in instead. This is the build I've gotten him. This is total stats. Not too shabby, if I say so myself. Not too shabby. Not like a damage set. Reflex isn't like a damage set, but I like him getting off that HP burn. I like him getting to it as fast as possible. It just destroys bosses. I got a relic on him as well. Skills are bugged. We got Brimstone. I did end up winning the 6-star Ninja Soul from the tournament. That was probably about 5 months ago as well. Here's the masteries. I'm not sure if War Master is the best choice. This is something I had. I got Ninja 3 years ago when he came out the first time. So these are masteries literally from 3 years ago. Maybe it's time to consider switching to Helm Smasher. In fact, I may do that right now. Let's do that right now. Alright guys, here's his new masteries. I don't know how different this is from the previous ones, but I think I like these better. This is a little tough for me to figure out what to do down here, especially in this one as well. I ended up going a Cycle of Magic. Usually I don't like to go this mastery for champions that are good against Amius, but Ninja's already in Reflex gear, so he's already not good for Amius. And then as well as I did want to get Master Hexer, so I had to pick up Sniper, which increases his chance of dropping decreased defense on the A1, so that's fine. And over here, I didn't know what to go with for the second one. I ended up going Cycle of Violence. I just thought it was the best one there. I don't know. It was either Cycle of Violence or it was increased damage when his allies are dead. I didn't think that was worth it. Most of the time, people aren't dying, at least in the teams that I use them on. So this is the route we went. We went with the crit rate. Got Helm Smasher. Just pretty typical like damage dealer masteries, but a damage dealer that needs accuracy, which is what Ninja is. So Ninja's kit is really good, really good. On the A1, you've got a solid chance to land big decreased defense as well as a turn meter boost. On the A2, you've got perfect veil and you're landing an HP burn. If you're hitting a boss, you're attacking 3 times at random and you can ignite the HP burn with all of those hits. Obviously, the first one can place it and the second and third can ignite it, which is really good. And then here you've got an AoE freeze. If you're fighting a boss, it's just going to be a big hit because you can't freeze most bosses. In fact, you can't freeze any bosses. You can kind of freeze Fire Knight hard, but not really. You just push the turn meter back, and then it will also ignore 50% of the boss's defense, and it will decrease the cooldown of his HP burn, which is really good. As well as he has this passive that ramps up his damage every time a champion or a boss is hit by all 3 of his skills in a single round. Well, Chimera counts as 1 round. No. So eventually he's going to get 100% more attack and 25% more crit damage, which is really nice. I've got Brimstone on him just because it hits bosses crazy hard. Brimstone is like some of the best damage for bosses in the game, so definitely running that on him. And then I've got Reflex. I've got the speed set, which isn't really as important, just gives you more speed, pretty self-explanatory. Feral, more accuracy. But Reflex is the big one. 40% chance to reduce random skill cooldown by 1 turn. I like that in combo with his A3 to spam as much HP burn as possible on the bosses. As well as we do have this relic. Where's my relic at? Gives him a little bit more attack, which is nice, and increases his damage by 1% each time any other champion takes a turn. When the wearer is under a veil, he's under veil with his A2, or when my Star Sage revives him. So it works really good with him. He's going to get a little bit extra damage. It's probably better than any other rare relics would be on him, so I figure it was worth putting on there. And the extra stats are just nice too. We compare that to my nut. I'm not necessarily going to explain his build, but I will show. Here's his skills. Here's his masteries. Here's the artifact sets, and here's the total stats. So you can kind of see what we're comparing him to, my nut. So yeah, let's get into it. We've got 2 teams we're going to use, alright? We go into Chimera. I hit hard and brutal every week, that's what I do. So we will be hitting brutal. I usually hit about, it's a little less than 100 million. I hit about 95 to about 97, anywhere in that range. So we're going to see if we can get something similar to that in brutal. And we will be hitting hard as well. This is my normal team, so we're definitely going to run this. And then we also will run, I'm going to make another team where I swap out Mikage for Lydia. Because Mikage does help Ninja. Mikage is a free mythical for everybody. She does take a while to get though. Her A1, she attacks 1 enemy with a 1 random ally from the Shadowkin. Ninja is Shadowkin, so she helps him out and gives him a lot more damage. So we'll be doing a team without her to kind of get another view of his damage for those of you newer players that don't have Mikage. Alright, let's do this. So typically in the Chimera, I literally just let Ninja do whatever he wants. I'll let him just do whatever skills he wants. He does ramp up his damage every time he uses all 3 of his skills, but he's pretty good about just doing everything on his own. He knows when to use his HP burn, when to use the decreased defense on the A1. And the Mikage helps him get a lot of A1s off too, which is really nice. You can see on Brutal, not too crazy. We're able to tank the big hit from the ultimate form. Although we are on 0 trials, he's going to get stronger as we go. But I don't think there's too much to say in this fight. Probably we'll just talk a little bit over it and then kind of skip to the end. In the ram form, he is going to kill himself, which is unfortunate, but most champions kill themselves against the ram unless they're in lifesteal gear or have leech on the boss. But the ram form is the one that gives him the most problems. Other than that, he's freaking really solid. And we'll have to take a look at his total damage at the very end. That's what interests us most. Sometimes he's good for some of the trials, like right here, ram form. This trial right here, going under perfect veil, he does that with his A2, and decreased defense he does with his A1. So this is a very good trial for him. He's also good on the ram form again. This trial number 3, normal. Place 5 unique debuffs on the Chimera and 5 unique buffs on your champions within 3 of the Chimera's turns. So he does bring the HP burn, and he also brings the decreased defense, which is 2 debuffs. And if you have him with smite or with any blessing at all, you should use smite. It's pretty good. My recommendation, at least. That'll be 3 debuffs. You get the smite, an HP burn, and the decreased defense. So you just need to find 2 other unique debuffs and 5 buffs on your team, which is pretty easy usually. You can see we already got almost 10 million damage. That's pretty good in 6 turns. We can walk away for a little bit now and just let them do their damage. Alright guys, we're getting down to the end of it. I'm actually super happy. Oh, you can see, that's perfect. You can see Newt actually can proc Soul Reap, or any champion can proc Soul Reap when the boss's health gets low enough. So Nut does have that going in his favor a little bit, but also Ninja has the Brimstone and Mikage, so... but I just wanted to mention that Nut is getting a little bit of a bonus damage, but you're going to see that Ninja blows him out of the water. Especially because this team never breaks 100 million. So the fact that we're at 114 means changing those masteries meant a bunch. And actually the fact that it is Void Affinity. I think the first 2 weeks were Force Affinity. So not good for Ninja, but Void. Ninja likes that much better. Force countered him, and he still would out-damage my Nut. So I'm very curious how this turns out. Boss is going to take off. Okay, let's see how this turns out. I'm keeping this. On Brutal, 116 mil. This is my record, like, by a long shot. You can see 55 million damage. I actually thought he would out-damage the Nut by more. I definitely thought we were going to see, like, 60 to 45 or something like that. But okay, 55 to 49. A little bit closer than I thought, but still... Nut is one of the best Chimera damage dealers, as a lot of you may know, but if you missed his fusion, you've got a solid one right next to him. You've got Ninja. Hopefully you've got Ninja. They gave him out within the last 5 months, so hopefully there's a lot of you that have him. That's why I'm making this video, because I figure more people that are newer are going to have Ninja than that have Nut. If you have both, good for you. They're freaking awesome. But let's do a team without Mikage and see how he does. I'm sure he'll do a little bit worse than Nut, but still, fantastic, fantastic Chimera damage dealer. At least on my account, Ninja's my #1 damage dealer just because I use Mikage. I'd say if I built all my damage dealers correctly, I have Marius, I have Nut, I have Ninja. I'm still working on Marius' masteries, but I think Marius is probably going to be my #1, and then maybe Nut or Ninja #2. It's really close. We'll keep that result. We're keeping that. We only ended up doing 6 trials, so nothing crazy. Ooh, we'll take the purple gemstone though. Take the epic. Yeah, cool. Alright guys, so this is the team for Brutal. Again, just changed Lydia for Mikage. I think she's a really solid Chimera champion, so I figured she was a good slot in. I'm not going to worry too much about the trials this time. We're not really worried too much about the Chimera clash damage. We're more worried about like the overall damage at the end, so we're just going to let this run. Going to let it completely auto itself, and we'll see how Ninja does compared to Nut this time without Lady Mikage. Alright guys, we're getting down to the end of the Lydia run with Ninja. You can see that we got a lot less damage without Mikage. Let's see how Ninja did compared to Nut without Mikage's help. Let us see. So 38 to 43, so they both did a lot less damage, but it's relatively close both ways. Like, Nut was kind of close to Ninja when he had Mikage's help, and Ninja's still kind of close to Nut without Mikage's help, so he's still a fantastic damage dealer, but I definitely wanted to show him without Mikage, because Mikage 100% makes him a lot stronger in this fight, at least on my account. But those of you that missed the Nut fusion, but, you know, started playing around the time of Ninja, you're good. He's still a fantastic damage dealer. Yeah, Nut is awesome to have in this fight, but eventually you're going to get Marius. So you'll still be chilling. But yeah, I just wanted to show Ninja, knowing that most people who are playing the game currently are still going to have him, just because, like I said, they re-released him 5 months ago. So we don't want to keep Resolve. We just want to edit team, because this is Brutal. We already did Brutal this week. So while we're talking about Ninja, let's go over some of the builds that can be really good for him if you can pull them off. So I've got my ninja in 4-piece reflex, 2-piece speed, but mainly the reflex is what we're concerned about. That is going to give him so much extra damage because he's going to get back to this A2. The A2 does so much damage, and the HP burn ticks do really good damage as well. But there are other builds that I'd say are better if you have the gear for them. So 9-piece Merciless is probably going to be your best build for ninja. 9-piece Merciless, I've got it on my Sequin. It's going to give you all these stats: extra turn, chance of decreasing a random skill cooldown by 1 turn when you deal damage, 35% ignore defense, and all these other stats. Really good if you can pull it off. It's quite a late game build, but there are other options. You could go 4 pieces of reflex and 4 pieces of merciless. The way you do that is you would need merciless accessories. As you can see, I've got actually exactly enough accessories to pull it off, although they're not very good accessories. But actually, I could throw 3 accessories down here at the bottom, change one of these speed pieces, or change both these speed pieces and only change 2 of my accessories. That'd give me 4-piece reflex and 4-piece merciless. What that would do is give me the 4-piece bonus, which is a 30% chance to decrease a random skills cooldown by 1 turn when dealing damage. So not only would I have reflex decreasing skills cooldowns, I'd also have merciless doing it too. So you're kind of doubling up on that aspect. You can do that. You could also go 4-piece merciless with any other damage set, like savage, lethal, instinct. You got savage, you got lethal. Just going to give you that 25% ignore enemy defense. And then instinct giving you a little bit less defense ignore, but more speed. So that's a good option as well. I don't see the benefit of doing that over 6-piece Merciless though, because 6-piece Merciless will take you up to that 35% ignore defense. So the only benefit I really see in going 4-piece Merciless and 4-piece of another damage dealing set is if your other damage dealing sets have better stats for your ninja. Like if your gear and your lethal is way better than your Merciless gear, then I could understand going 4-piece Merciless and 4-piece lethal, savage, or instinct. That definitely makes sense. Another really good set for him is Feral. Feral, if you can get all the way to the 9-piece, allies deal 5% more damage per each debuff placed by the wearer. Really nice because he does a couple debuffs. He does his drop defense and his HP burn. If you can't get all the way to the 9-piece, no problem. I would recommend just getting whatever you can on the accessories, maybe the 1, 2, or 3-piece. Just because accuracy and speed is kind of what he needs to land his debuffs. And speed's never a bad thing in this game. You don't really need the 4-piece bonus or the 6-piece bonus, but even just throwing on 1 or 2 of these Feral accessories is really, really nice. As you can see, I got Feral on his amulet. If you can get 1, 2, or even 3 of those on him, really, really nice just to get those bonus stats. If you can go all the way to 9-piece, definitely worth it. But if you can't, I would suggest just going either 3 pieces or less, or all the way to 9-piece. I would not go anywhere really in the middle, because the 4-piece and the 6-piece do not really benefit him, in my opinion. And if you're really new to the game and you're struggling to have these damage sets, which is not a problem at all, I've been there before, you could always go the classic 6 pieces of perception, right? Because perception, you get it really early on. You can start forging it with your charms, you know, your crit rate charms and your glove charms to try and get yourself some crit damage gloves with crit rate. I understand it's a lot easier to get that stuff in perception early on, and perception is very similar to Feral in the substats that it gives you. So if you had to go perception, that will definitely work as well as like a good ninja build. It won't give you any of the ignore defense. You'll have to find that in other places, but that's okay. You're still gonna get your accuracy and your speed that you need to land your debuffs, and as long as you have the proper gear pieces, you're still gonna hit relatively hard. I have no ignore defense in this build other than my Helm Smasher. I've been able to make it work in this video, as you guys have seen, without any ignore defense, so you guys can as well. And if you want to go another blessing on him other than Brimstone, Brimstone is my recommendation, but if your ninja hits hard enough, Heaven Cast is a good choice. You have to be in a buff heavy team. Heaven Cast is going to make you do more damage according to the number of buffs on your champion. So if you have a really buff heavy team behind your ninja, this can actually add up to a lot of damage. At 6-star, it's 2% for each buff. You can get up to 10 buffs on yourself, so that'd be 20% more damage. Now 10 buffs is kind of unrealistic. In my team, I think I get about 4 or 5 usually, so that'd be, 8 to 10% more damage, which is really, really good. I'm not sure if that adds up to being more than Brimstone, but I use my ninja in other places. That's why I have him in Brimstone. But just something to think about if you're specifically trying to use your ninja in Chimera or like Hydra and that kind of content. So guys, I think that's going to conclude this video. Overall, I just wanted to show you guys that, most of you guys are going to have a fantastic damage dealer on your account that you got for free. If you haven't invested in Ninja, I think it's definitely worth it. Most people that have him probably have invested in him. If you're not using him in Chimera, definitely give him a whirl there. He's freaking awesome. Love this guy. I love him in Hydra. He's my main clan boss damage dealer. I love him against like Amius, although his set isn't the best for it because it causes Amius to switch forms. But still, sometimes his damage is just worth it, like especially in like normal mode where I'm just trying to like kill him as fast as possible. Fantastic champion. I could go on about this guy all day, but I think we're gonna end it right there. But if you miss Ninja, or you're a new player and would like to start an account, or you're an existing player and would like to start a second account just cause it's a good time always starting over, we do have a link down below in the top comment or the pinned comment as well as description for Mr. Karato, however you want to say it. Fox Hunter here, fantastic damage dealer, especially in like arena, but honestly just good, like a good nuker for waves, as well as he also has crowd control debuffs to help you with waves as well. That way they're not using their big skills against you. You've got a fantastic champion for clan boss in Fayne as well with that link. A fantastic Doom Tower champion in Vergis. He is fantastic against the Scarab. Probably the best champion against the Scarab King, in my opinion. And a solid support in Romero. So if that sounds nice to you, go ahead and hit that link below. Join us on this raid adventure and get yourself a free legendary and 3 really solid epics. But that's all I got to say for this video. I hope you guys enjoyed. Hopefully you bust Ninja out of the vault and use him in Chimera, or you find a way to incorporate him into your main Chimera team. He's legendary, to say the least. So I hope you guys enjoyed. I'll see you in the next one. Peace out.